On today's live daily news, 2 deadly crashes that affected the Concho Valley, an update on the home birth heroin baby trial, and a look at this week's weather. Plus, Fattough with the state park joins the show, and it's the start of two-a-days for Texas high school football. All this plus more. I'm Matt Trammell, and this is Live. But before we get to the news, summertime is here, and what better way to spend it than outside barbecuing? Don't waste your time with those tiny steaks from the grocery store. Instead, drive out to Miles to get some of the juiciest steaks in Texas at Sklenarix. Sklenarix Smoked Meats is an award-winning smokehouse that is open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. weekdays and 9 until noon on Saturdays in the heart of Miles, Texas. It's a drive that's worth the taste. Sklenarix Smoked Meats at 108 South Robinson in Miles, Texas. Now, on to the news. We start the show today with heartbreaking news coming out of the Permian Basin. Texas DPS confirmed this afternoon that a San Angelo man was killed in a crash in Midland County this past weekend. At around 4:15 on Saturday morning, 30-year-old San Angelo resident Ario Pelafine died after running a stop sign on County Road 60 and Tom Craddock Highway. Fine was rushed to the hospital following the crash, but ultimately died there. This wasn't the only crash that affected the Concho Valley either. On Saturday night, local DPS troopers worked a crash on a rural highway in Runnels County. In the crash, a Chevy Tahoe and a Hyundai Elantra crashed on Highway 153 about 10 miles east of Winters. One person was killed in the crash. He was identified as 43-year-old Michael John Castillo. Castillo was a resident of Sweetwater. It was revealed that the car he was driving ran the stop sign. In other news, week 2 of the Kristen Bradley trial resumed on Monday with the defense giving opening statements. We told you all last week that Bradley was on trial for the death of her grandchild, Brixley Lee, who died at the age of 2 months old from a suspected heroin overdose. As the court came back in session after the weekend, the defense gave its opening statements, during which he pleaded to the jury to not punish Bradley for getting the child help. Now remember, she is not the child's mother or the person who was likely shooting up the child with drugs. Instead, the defense claims that she made the ultimate sacrifice by taking the child to get help. The defense will now have to prove to the jury that is true. There are still a couple more witnesses for the state, but because of a scheduling issue, the defense started their pitch today. We will continue covering the trial throughout the week. For more, check out the story on SanAngeloLive.com. Speaking of court, a long list of folks need to get right with the city of San Angelo's municipal court. In a release sent out by city staff, the list of people with city warrants revealed to the public. The list with exactly 4,075 names on it could have tickets for a number of things like traffic and parking fines, but also include other misdemeanor charges. If your name is on the list, they could get you at any second, so keep your head on a swivel. Or, of course, you could be smart and responsible and pay those fines on the City of San Angelo's website. And in lighter news, the San Angelo VA Clinic has been renamed after retired Air Force Colonel Charlie Powell and his wife Joanne. This VA clinic is extremely important as it helps over 15,000 cadets and vets in the region. Congressman August Pfluger was there and gave a short speech. Here's a clip from that.
And I just want to tell the entire family thank you for everything that y'all have done, and to carry on the legacy of Charles and Joanne Powell is not an easy thing, and our community, I think, is up for the task, but we appreciate your family's service.
And of course, to read more on that, look for it on SanAngeloLive.com. And finally, moving into weather this week, expect a hot one. Currently, the Concho Valley is in a heat advisory, but expect that to ramp up to an excessive heat warning by tomorrow afternoon. This is going to be a hot week, folks, but things could change, so make sure you stay tuned into the live daily news show every day for updates. And finally, the Texas high school football season is finally here. Two-a-days kicked off for most schools in Texas this morning. Cover One analyst James Bellini went out to Wall and spoke with head coach Houston Guy. But before we get to him, here's a quick message from the Bass Bunch.
Hey, Aaron Terry here at Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, and we have a limited time offer on F-150s. We've got over 50 F-150s in stock, and we have up to $11,000 in total savings. And what goes along with that $11,000 is 1.9%. Ford Motor Credit is offering 1.9% on purchases, which is gonna make your payment super low. So come down to Jim Bass Cars and Trucks at 4032 West Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
James Bellini with Cover One. We're here with head coach Houston Guy of the Wallhawks on the first day of two-a-days. Coach, how's it feel to get back out here?
It's exciting, you know. It's a nice, cool morning. It's not 106 yet, and so we got a good breeze. We've got a good bunch of guys out here on the football field, so it's a lot of fun.
And talk about your attendance. Are you happy with your attendance right now?
Yeah, we are. We had nearly everybody show up that we thought we were going to. Some of our younger kids, you know, they not quite understand the time urgency of getting here early. So, you know, it's one of those things where they show up at 6:55 and you're taking the field at 7. But it's one of those things of being young. So.
And I remember back when you were at Cristova, if you're on time, you're late.
That's
so
right. You're exactly
I absolutely
right.
remember that.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about your offense real quick. You got Gunnar Dillard. You say you really took strides last year toward being a good option quarterback.
Yes.
You know, kind of go into his development over the offseason.
You know, it's one of those things, you know, Gunnar had a real good spring for us, put a lot of time in the weight room. He's a lot bigger, a lot stronger. We expect his reads to be, you know, right on as the season starts. He grew so much from the time the season started last year till the very end in the Canadian game, and we felt like he took major strides at being that option quarterback for us, and we just expect him to, you know, kind of pick up where he left off last winter when we played Canadian.
All right, now let's talk about the defense. I think they allowed like 8.6 points a game last year.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. They did a great job. Yeah, and we got a lot of kids coming back on the defensive side also, and we moved to a little different package defensively. We're going to try to put a little bit more speed on the field, see if that doesn't help us out and bring that point total, which is crazy insane anyway, which is about 8 points a game. We're going to try to bring that down to about 6.5.
All right, and you have our defensive MVP, our Cover One defensive MVP, Brylan White. Kind of go into his, you know, are you happy with his development so far?
Oh yeah, you know, he's had a great summer. You know, his dad stays after him pretty good. So sometimes you gotta tell Dad to kind of take it easy.
I think he did jump down there earlier on a play, so you should make him run laps for that one.
But no, Brylan had a great summer. You know, we expect great things from Brylan this year. He's going to be a great leader on the defensive side. He's going to be a force to contend with. He's going to be a tough end to block for most offensive linemen.
Our job is about so much more than cleaning floors. It's about personal investment.
Sometimes it's just taking the time to listen and show you care.
When you make the effort to connect, you realize we're all on the same team.
Even the smallest of efforts can make a big impact.
At Carpet Tech, serving is always personal.
And welcome back to the show. Joining me today from the San Angelo State Park is Tara Fattough. Tara, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. What's going on out there?
It's been pretty hot. I'm sure everybody knows that. So we've been a little slower than normal, but we're still doing some programs. We're trying to avoid the heat. So this Saturday, we're going to do backyard bass. You do have to register. We're capped at 15 participants for that.
Okay.
But basically, you're going to go fishing without actually going fishing. So if you want to learn how to cast a rod, it's perfect for that. We'll learn about different fish you can find across Texas. Of course, here the ones in the park will point those out, but I have a few maybe saltwater fish mixed in just to spice things up a little bit.
So make sure you know how to fish before you go fishing.
Yes.
Sort of
Yeah, and it's a pretty fun game. I personally like doing it. It's just kind of like the way you have to try to reel in the little plastic fish that we have. It's entertaining, definitely.
Very good, very good. And we talked last time about a new bison, and how's that going?
We have two
new bison.
Yes.
And that's neat.
Yeah, so I don't know as far if we have any more since this last one.
Okay.
So I guess the other one is about, I want to say maybe a little less than a month old now at this point. But yeah, they're doing well so far.
They're doing good.
Yeah. July is kind of the end of their birthing season, so it's kind of wrapping it up. We did have one born in November last year, so we'll see.
Oh, okay.
You know,
That was
never
out
know,
of
not a
character.
surprise. Yeah. But they're doing good. If you want to see them, we'll have a viewing. We try to do it every Saturday, but we for sure are going to do it the second Saturday of every month.
Second Saturday of every month for the Longhorn and Bison
Yes.
viewing there. That's a fascinating little show, and you can park, and it's just a couple of steps
Yes.
over to the viewing area. It's been hot and dry. Like we were talking, I was out there Saturday, and you know, the burn ban sign is up, and y'all do you red flag the grills.
Yes. Yeah, it's just kind of a reminder. Sometimes it could get blown away or something, but it's just a reminder that we do not allow any kind of ash-producing fire right now. If you have a propane grill or something like that, you can perfectly good to use that, but any kind of ash-producing coal, wood, stuff like that, you cannot use right now.
No open flames.
Yes, no open flames. It needs to be contained. It's hot, dry, and windy.
It is
Perfect conditions for a fire.
For those old guys like me, that Johnson grass is really tall and really brown and brittle right now, so you got to be careful out there. Upcoming things, you've got, we just had a ladies' hike, and let's see, there's 2 full moons this month.
Yes.
And
so we've got the first one, I believe, tomorrow, and then we're going to have our blue moon at the end of the month. So we've got 2 full moons in a month. That typically doesn't happen, so that's why it's called a blue moon. So that is going to be August 30th. It's a Wednesday. We'll start at 8:15 p.m. And we would like you to register ahead. If you go to our Facebook, my email and phone number is listed on there, just to get an idea of who's coming, and because our gatehouse is going to be closed, so it's easier to give you directions of where we're meeting and all that stuff. But it'll be a night hike, so you need to bring a headlamp or a flashlight for sure.
Okay, and you'll have a telescope set up, and for those folks who don't know, the state park is so close to the city, it's really convenient, but you have a lot less light pollution out there.
Yeah,
so
we won't see anything like the Milky Way or anything because we are close, but we still get some stuff. We'll get hopefully a clear view of the moon, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
But we still get to see some cool things. We've had Angelo Astronomy come out and do some stuff with us. We've seen Jupiter, Saturn, Venus. Venus is visible to the naked eye. It's the last few months it's been the brightest star usually. But we still get to see some cool stuff, and hopefully as time goes on we'll do some more night sky events and stuff, especially to get out of the heat.
And that's on top of just the self-guided stuff, the 50 miles of trails that you can hike or bike, and of course O.C. Fisher still has some water in it.
Yeah, it's definitely good for kayaking, canoeing. I actually was just at the boat ramp before I came up here. It's dropped significantly.
Can you launch a boat from the ramp?
A kayak if you
Just
walk
a
it
kayak,
in.
yeah. So there's
no boats. Yeah, it's not. It's like probably like 3 or 4 feet outside of the boat ramp at this point.
Yeah. Well, and it's West Texas in July and August, and this is a sort of a drought. I call it a wet drought year because we did have some rain, and we're not as far behind, but it's still hot and dry out there. All right. Anything else before we go?
So we'll do a tarantula program too. The last weekend.
Tarantula program.
Yeah. So we're gonna learn about Texas brown tarantulas, which are the most common ones you're gonna see, as well as a few other spiders, insects, and stuff, just to let people know that they're not as bad as we think we are.
Those heart-stopping tarantulas.
Yeah. They look scary at first, but they're more concerned with their own well-being than we are with them.
Well, that's good, because I'm concerned about my well-being.
It's definitely shocking to see it sometimes.
And we did mention off camera that the grasshoppers are back.
Yes,
they're
hard to miss.
Yeah, you can see hordes of grasshoppers. But the state park is a great place to go and get back out in nature and see what this part of West Texas is about.
Yes, it is. Great place to explore, especially if you're a beginner. We have a lot of more easy to moderate trails compared to some of our parks way out west with their mountains.
Right.
But it's a great spot to start your outdoor exploration, especially if you want to come to any of the hikes or programs. A good way to explore them.
They can find you on Facebook and
Facebook, Instagram, and the website.
There we go.
Yes.
Tara, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, guys, we'll go back to you.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Concho stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Concho's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo. Thank you, Yantis. Thank you, Tara. Bunch of fun stuff coming up at the San Angelo State Park, so make sure you go out there and, well, have some fun. This is the Live Daily News Show. We're here every weekday during the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to be giving you an interview like we did today, and, of course, the news to get you through. And, guys, it is football season, so expect intensive high school football action coming your way. And of course, if you would like to be part of it, you can always sponsor our Cover One football. If you would like to do that, contact Tracy at Tracy with an I at SanAngeloLive.com, or of course Joe at JoeH@HydeInteractive.com. For everyone here at the San Angelo Live team, I'm Matt Trammell. We will see you guys tomorrow.